Good morning, friends. It's Nancy, and it's Sunday, so it's Self-Care Sunday. But I wanted to show you a little thing I got at the thrift the other day. Yeah, I paid up for it a bit. It was $5. But look what's inside it. These are, well, they're vintage because they're from 1990, but they are reproduction antique ones. And there's a couple pages with Santas. Look at this lady. Look at this one with her big gold earring. These are all wagons full of flowers. These are pretty. I love these hands. And some kids. Oh, this one has peacock feathers and it says, "Ever Thine." So I did a little research, and the company, the Mamelock Press, they actually originated in Germany, this family, and moved to Britain in the 1930s. And that's why these German scraps are now made in England. These particular German scraps. The feathers. Well, quills. They're beautiful. Plus there's some that are already cut. So I was willing to pay $5 for that. I mean, if I think about how much I would have paid for each of these individually. I've got them all messed up. They won't go back in the place they need to go. Yeah, it says here, this one says reproduced from the Archives Collection, Mamelock Press Limited. That was from 1987. This one says reprinted from Madame Tussaud's London collection. I'm not sure why I pronounced that with a French pronunciation, but because it's Madame Tussauds in England, right? So the book itself just has some, you know, decoupage projects you can make. Little pencil boxes and trays and things. Well, that's not likely to happen. I would probably, there's a few pictures in here that I will want to fussy cut out, like this one. I don't probably, yeah, like there's some things in there I'll fussy cut before I toss it. So I got that on Friday. So I do have some very exciting news. If you, well, you already know if you follow me on Instagram, that I've been chosen to be on the design team for a scrapbook store, both brick and mortar and online, called Younique Scrapbooks, and it's spelled Y-O-U, unique. So I will be doing 2 live videos a month. So Friday I was in Guelph, and that's where I found that book to pick up my supplies for my projects this month. It's going to be fun. The the paper collection that I'm using is called Avec Amour, and it's a Prima paper. I started my projects yesterday, and I think I got a lot to bring to the table, actually, because I think there's going to be some new techniques in there. So the live videos will be on the Younique Scrapbook Store's Facebook page. It'll be a Facebook Live. Anyway, so I wanted to show you some... Oh, and it also involves Graphic 45 travel album with notebook set. So I was at an antique show last week, and I got this book. It's old. I did see some dates in here. So this one says July 84. Billings 1873. I don't think it means Billings like a city. I think it's a surname, because that looks like Nancy. So this was 1873. I think I saw some earlier dates. So most of them are little poems or little stories. And then after those few first pages, then they start putting the newspaper between the lines. But what I wanted to show you was at the very, very back, and this is dated August 1884, and it talks about Sunday school, the Church of St. Thomas. So they had some hymn singing and such, and they brought flowers, and then they went to the hospital and delivered the flowers to the patients. And I thought that was really interesting, because I was married in that church. And here's a very, very old picture of it. Let me stand up, make sure you can see it without glare. So this is a very, very old picture of the church. So the church would be more than 200 years old now. And when we got married, it was October. There's no electricity, there's no heat, and it was snowing. Or am I going to put you? So I only paid a little bit for this. Not much. More than I should have, but nonetheless. So I saw something the other day. Heather from Rose Hill Paper Cottage made these tags using ledger sheets that prescriptions had been glued to. She didn't glue them. She bought or acquired or whatever these ledger sheets with the prescriptions on them. And the funny thing is, Heather and I have talked about this before. I believe she's in Iowa. And here I am in southern Ontario, about an hour from Toronto. And the prescriptions we have, you might remember that I have had packages of 1920s prescriptions. They both date to about the same time, and they're from the same city in Kansas. I know it started with a K. I think it was Kansas or Kentucky or Kansas. Anyway, so she used other bits of prescriptions to kind of fill in a bit, and glued everything down. And then she made these really cute tags. So I made some as well, but I actually had to glue mine down to scrapbook. I want to say scrapbook paper, but it's like a heavy card that came from a vintage scrapbook. Oh, there it is. There's one. This is one I tore the papers off of. I think this particular scrapbook dated to the 30s. And there was a lot of magazine clippings in here that they just glued along the edge because they wanted to be able to flip it open. Anyway, so I collaged a bunch of prescriptions that I have. I'm just seeing if I can find the city here, but it's just the street address, doesn't say the city. And then on the back, I just sort of laid down some bits and pieces of blank paper. Oh, this one has a whole prescription on it. I forgot about that. These ones aren't finished. But then I thought, The Legend of the Storks and the Babies. So I thought about gluing this down to cover the back. Yeah. Let's see what we can do. So, as always, there's some disgusting racist stuff on the back. So we need to cover that up. I shouldn't say as always, but things that shouldn't have been acceptable were acceptable back in 1873. So I hope everybody's having a really great weekend. We are having a good weekend. Yesterday, my sister called me. What are you doing? They were in town having a family road trip with all their family and my mom, which was good. It was good to see my mom out and about. She's feeling much better now that she's got that hip replacement. She told me a couple weeks ago, she said, "Oh, I don't have any pain." I don't know if that's true. I don't have any pain compared to the agony I've been in, maybe, but I might be able to get behind that, but I don't know. Mom's probably watching this, so. It's funny, I was thinking, oh, when I do my video tomorrow, I must tell something. There's something I wanted to share so that I could make sure my mom knows. Anyway, so we met them in St. Jacobs, had lunch with them, and they had the whole family, including all the grandchildren, girlfriends, daughter-in-laws, parents. They had the whole shebang. All right. Just had to have a sip of my coffee. I was getting a little croaky there. So, got a couple of spots here. I can fill that in with just about anything, can't I? What's this? German dictionary. I was thinking maybe this hunk of newspaper, but I think it's a little too modern. Maybe I'll just avoid cutting there, because this has kind of got like a gray-green color to it, along with the dirt. I did press these with a hot iron, just to make sure there was no itty-bitty bugs or anything, and to flatten it because it was a little wavy. All right, now I'm going to use one of my dies as a template to draw some. Is that gonna work? Hopefully that works. And maybe I'll trace from the back. So I'm going to cut off the parts I don't want to save. Looks like I missed a couple of little bits. So after that, we met Jordan and his lady friend. And for ice cream, which was fun. See the kids. I'm just looking at what I got here. Okay. I presume that's Duke Street here in Kitchener. Just grabbing some pieces of old blank paper to randomly collage. Just to add some interest to the back. You have to excuse the condition of my hands. I dyed paper yesterday with purple cabbage. And now I have blue hands. It is impossible to work with gloves when you're trying to separate wet paper, or even dry paper for that matter. So it's got a bend there, we'll follow that. I doubt I will need this much paper for one page, but I mean, there's other pages, right? I might have to make more. So today, we got even more excitement. Doug's youngest brother and his wife are coming to town. I'm going to meet them for breakfast this morning, and then... Gosh, that's getting grungy, isn't it? And then we're going to a pottery show in Guelph. And then we're going to the antiques market in Aberfoyle. Looks like I didn't get right to the edge on this side. Come on, glue. So it's been a much more exciting weekend than we're used to, that's for sure. Why do I keep working on that page? I've got scrap paper here. So I'll have to remember to link that video of Heather's. She, as far as I know, she still has prescriptions in her store. I think I have one package left. And when it's gone, it's gone. Okay, I don't need you guys anymore. So, I want to make sure that these are going in the right direction. Gosh, I can barely see that. Let's cut it out. So this one refers to Hamilton Hospital. Oh, and it says here, those who are willing to render them assistance in this matter are asked to send their offerings before 11 o'clock on Wednesday mornings to Mrs. Billings, 3 Jackson Street. Well, I know exactly where that is, in St. Thomas. I'm going to butt you right up against there. I actually bought this book in Woodstock, which, I mean, it's not terribly far from St. Thomas. An hour. So I did get the Billings name right. And it just occurred to me, I'm trying to think who was a Billings. Somebody was a Billings. All right, this is a little too tall, so I'm going to make this a shorter tag. I forgot to mark the holes. That way I don't have to measure anything. Well, I don't have to measure anything anyway, do I? Wait a minute. Yes, we do. Yeah. Yeah, we really do. Okay, I'm gonna make this a full one. Okay. Oh, let's see if I can use a little knife work. This is some heavy paper. Oh, I wish I could remember what I was going to tell my mother. Oh dear. It was probably wasn't important, but it was so boisterous yesterday, to say the least. And I couldn't hear anybody or say anything anyway. It was good to see the kids because I didn't get to see them at Christmas because we were in British Columbia visiting Mark and his wife. I say kids, but they're all well over 6 feet tall. And the youngest is starting university this September. And the oldest is in a doctorate program, I believe. In, I want to say neuroscience. I might have that wrong. I've been wrong before. This is tough paper. I mean, it's awful heavy too, let's face it, Nancy. Come on. Oh, maybe it was I was going to tell Mom about Doug's near-death experience. Oh, Doug. So, Sunday I was getting housework done, and I grabbed the hand towel off the bar. I have like a little hoop that the hand towel in the bathroom goes in. So I grabbed that towel, throw it into the laundry, and neglected to replace it. I think you guys already know where this is going, don't you? So there is a towel bar in my bathroom that I have towels you can only look at. You can't use them. They're my good fluffy towels. And they're bright white and fluffy, and they weren't cheap. And they've been hanging there for years. I just change out the decorative hand towels that I put on top of them. So the white towel is folded in thirds. There's 2 fluffy ones, and then I put 2 hand towels over top, and I switch them out with the season or the holiday that's coming up or the color, whatever. And it just occurred to me right now in this moment, I'm starting to sound like my grandmother. Oh, goodness. Yeah, my grandmother had pink bathroom and blue bathroom, and she would switch those out. I don't remember there being an occasion, though. That wasn't terribly short, was it? Just a little short. And my brother-in-law said to me, he was sitting across from me yesterday, and I said something, and he says, "You sound like your Nana." And I said, "A role I have fully embraced." My inner Nana. Anyway, so the next morning, I went in to get ready for work, and I saw that Doug had dried his hands on my good towel. And how is it he had washed these hands? That doesn't have a mark on it. And yet they were still filthy. I thought, oh, I'll just flip it over. So I pulled it out and did a 180. The other side was dirty. Now my dander's up, but it's time for me to go to work. So I fold it in, I pull it out, fold it the other way in thirds, and then put it over the rack. Both sides, both ends of the inside were filthy. I could have killed him. So I pulled the towel out, and I went outside to say goodbye and let him know I was leaving for work. "Well, why are you taking a towel to work?" I said, "I'm not taking a towel to work. I just came to tell you how close you were to death." And I said, "You could have just turned around. The linen closet is right behind the vanity. You could have turned around, got a new hand towel," and I explained to him all I had done with the turning it around, turning it inside out. And I said, "Not only have you defiled my good towels, my look-at towels, not use-at towels, I'm confused about why your hands are so dirty after you wash them." I need some answers. All right. Let's look at what the backs turned out like. Oh, that's fun. Nice. I must say I'm happy with that. Okay. I'm going to pause so I can stitch these before I do anything else. Alrighty. So I checked. Yeah, I only have one package of prescriptions left. That's my last one. Thought I'd show you my results from the purple cabbage dye. It did a real good job of going through to the other side, which I haven't seen with tea dye. Like with tea dye, you see there's a hint of lace, but the purple, I mean, it goes right through. And a variety of shades, depending on how long the paper had soaked, how high the sun was. The later ones, it got a little windy. So the tablecloth lifted up and blurred a bit. I think this color is the earliest ones. But then it got darker and bluer. Yeah, so that's cabbage dyed. And you can see, like, here's blue purple, red purple, blue purple, red purple. Lots of shades. Okay, I got these done. And I just put a little eyelet, a 3/16 inch eyelet. I had sewn around with gold thread first, and you can't see it. So I switched out to a black thread. Now, how do I want to decorate you? I did grab a stencil, because I thought I would do a little bit of stenciling. With my texture paste. Oh, I know what I want to do first. Heather added tape, faux antique tape. Well, I had some 1950s tape that I pulled out of a scrapbook, but it wasn't dark enough, so I used some alcohol ink on it. So I thought maybe I'd add a couple strips of that. I need a short one. Actually, I'll put it on this one. Okay. So I thought I'd do a little stenciling. Excuse me. I did pull out some of those Victorian scraps. I mean, these were Victorian times. I am super excited about the design team because I'm going to get the chance to work with products that are new to me. So, I mean, already I've looked up a couple of things and watched videos so I can figure out how to use them. I don't know how well texture paste would do over that tape, so I'm not gonna test it. Oops, oh, I messed that up. Oh, not bad, not bad. Lay down, you. Okay, I'll just set that aside to dry. I like that. Okay. Sorry for that yucky noise. I just wanted to make sure I'm not wasting any. Waste not, want not. I'll give this a rinse at the sink afterwards, but just taking the bulk of the paste off. All right, lid. Now, these other three, I like to add some lace here, if I can. And I bet you I got a little bit somewhere. What's this? I want this to be a little raggedy. So I'm just twisting it and cutting it. How did that work? Not bad. Okay. I want to get rid of this piece. Just going to add a little bit of glue to the areas where it's opaque. I don't want the shiny 3-in-1 showing through. Just gonna add a little. Okay, sure you are. Just a little spoop of glue stick there. Alrighty, I want to use one of my ladies. I'm just gonna cut some of the background off. Now I'm thinking, why would Tussauds have Victorian scraps? Aren't they a wax museum? I don't get it. Okay, this one I'm going to just ink the edge a little, just to remove the appearance of any core. I'm going to make her chin look a little more elegant. There. And I don't like this curl at all. It looked really dumb. I do like that. And since I'm gluing on lace, I'm going to use the 3-in-1. Or Fabri-Tac. Just checking the time. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to get done today. But if you check my Instagram later, I'm sure you'll see. I don't like that. I'm sure you'll see some photos of the finished tags. So, because it's Sunday, I want you to think about your self-care. Very important. And take care of yourself. You're the most important person because you can't care for anybody else unless you're in good shape. Alrighty, you take care. We're going to talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.